Hey guys, this is the Dog, back here for more of Metroid Prime. Last time we defeated Flagra, the mutant plant monster that was causing the water in the Chozo ruins to become toxic. And this time, we're going to go to a new area. So we're just got these little tunnels behind here that are going to lead us directly back to the Magmore Caverns elevator. Toxin scans negative. Water is free of poison. Yep, it all happens instantly after you defeat Flagra. So you can jump around on the platforms across, up top there, or you can just, swim. Doesn't really matter. Here's some crates to destroy. Some of these have... Oh, yes, they do. These are Ultra Energy, which are basically the best type of health pickup. They're going to restore 100 energy, one full energy tank with each one we get. So now we're back up to full health and missiles, even though we're going to get to save soon. And is this a new enemy? Yes, it is. Morphology Pulse Bomb You. I really have to question these names every once in a while again. I'm not sure how that's supposed to be pronounced. But anyway, it's made of pure energy, and is very, very stupid. But it's also invincible to all our shots with the power beam or missiles or whatever. And all it's gonna do is float there and sometimes drop off those little segments which are gonna explode, so don't stand under them. They're really not too dangerous, except for you have to note that if you charge a beam, they'll float towards you, like so. And you still can't hurt them with a charge beam. We're actually going to need to get an entirely new beam weapon to damage them. Here's some more of this magnetic rail stuff, which we can't get down now, but it really doesn't matter. We'd only use that for later on if we want to get up here. Right now, we're just going to drop, because there's no fall damage in this game. There's some stuff we can do in here later on to get, well, to open the way back up, once we have the ability to go on these magnetic rails. I'm not sure if there's like a missile expansion or anything in here. There might not be. I'm gonna destroy these War Wasp hives, because they're obnoxious, and there's some stuff to scan. Wasting missiles? Maybe. Worth it? Totally. So you might notice here, these things here, it says they're made of cordite and slightly cracked. That's important, because later on we will get something that allows us to destroy things made of cordite. But we cannot do that right yet. So it looks like there's only one scan, but here's a Chozo lore. The world of living things feels strange to us, we who have existed so long on the edges of time and space. It is clear now that we Chozo can never return to our dimension, not while the great poison reaches even further into the planet. It is so powerful, this creeping evil, that our wills are crumbling and our minds are beginning to fail. And so, before it is too late, we now make our last stand. We have begun to build a temple to contain this darkness. At its heart we will place a cipher, a mystical lock powered by 12 artifacts, and filled with as much power as we Chozo can harness in our ethereal states. Even when we are done, it may be too late. So we can see the inhabitants of this planet have been doing something to try to contain the poison that came from this meteor, but we don't know how successful they were. Anyway, without further ado, let's go down to the Magmore Caverns. One thing that kind of annoys me about this game is that every time you ride an elevator, it plays this really unnecessarily long elevator sequence. I mean, it's cool the first couple times, because the graphics were nice in its day, but later on we'll be going up and down these elevators a lot, you know, backtracking to different areas. I mentioned there's a lot of backtracking. So that'll just take us back, obviously. And, well, it can get kind of irritating when you have to sit through the same sequence every time. So this area still at the moment kind of looks like the Chozo ruins, and I could just drop down here, actually. Those platforms are only necessary for when you want to go back up. Who designs the elevators here? I mean, whose idea was it to have an elevator in like 4 parts? Well, anyway, game design logic, I guess. Here's some street bats. But you can see here, it looks rather red and, well, warm. And our visor is fogging up a little bit. What awaits behind this corner? Well, you don't get to see because I'm going to go safe right now. But here's some lava. That's always fun, right? Keep accidentally locking onto that guy. Now this is really starting to look like the Magmore Caverns, which, as you might have guessed, is a very fiery, lava-filled area. Actually, I think I said it earlier, but whatever. Here's a new enemy. This is a Grisby, subvolcanic carrion feeder. Carapace can be breached by missiles. Fused together by superheated air, stands up to everything but concussive blasts. And it's very dumb, like most of the enemies in this game, honestly. So they're not really a threat, because all they do is just go around in these patterns. The only issue is that you can't really hurt them without blowing them up with a missile. But half the time they drop more missiles, so, you know. We can destroy these guys. I'm good enough at this platforming that I could... Ah! Fire. Fire bad. I could get through here without... Ah, crap, this thing is... I could get through here without, destroying them, but I will anyway, because it's easier. Anyway, here's another new enemy, and one that always irritates the crap out of me. This is a burrower. It's just a small bug that goes around underground. Fairly ignorant. Oh man, you're being ignorant. Okay, I promise I will never do that again. That one was pretty easy, but sometimes those guys can be irritating with their patterns of the way they burrow around and refuse to come up at a good time and then go up and shoot you in the back. Anyway, here we are in Magmore Caverns proper, and what's this? Yep, it's not another new enemy. There he is. And wow, nice wide-angle shots there. This is a Magmore, fire-breathing serpent that dwells in lava. And you thought this game was realistic. Actually, you probably didn't with all the nitpicking I've been doing. Prefer extreme heat zones and are susceptible to frigid attack forms. Sightless, they navigate the lava currents using their sonar receptors. They have like 5 eyes. How are they sightless? Or why are they sightless? Keen sense of smell enables them to kill targets with startling accuracy. And they breathe fire, yeah. Yep. We don't need no realism in our Metroid games. And here's some health. We've just got a whole storm of new enemies, but first, grapple beam. There's another noise I don't know if I could repeat if I tried. Yeah, you don't need to remind me I don't have my grapple beam. This is a puffer. Or poofer, as I have a tendency to call them sometimes. I had a friend who called them that when I was young, maybe that was why. Unstable gas-filled organism will rupture on contact. Fill their bodies with lethal metaviprium gas and float about in search of food. I don't know if that's a real gas or not, but it will be violently released if we rupture the puffer. They are aggressive hunters despite being fragile. So, yeah. If you bump into them, they'll hurt you. And usually they'll basically explode and release poisonous gas. They'll also do so if we shoot them. So, when we're going across these platforms, we have to basically shoot them and then wait for the... Oh, and this platform is going to sink, so actually I should get off it while I wait for the cloud to disappear. Because that's what we're going to have to do with these puffers. Which is why it's usually best to shoot all of them right from the beginning so you don't have to wait as much. But that's just my personal preference. Yeah. Ah! Lava. Not bad. Most guns bad, you know. Give me all your missiles. Maybe I should have scanned that? Maybe not. But it's just a barrier that we can blow up with morph ball bombs. Really nothing special about it. And here's more bombs. And don't see any Magmors in this half of the room. Technically, it's the same room. Oh god, yes. Okay. Here we are at the Triclops pit. Or no, this is not the Triclops pit. The Triclops pit is the much bigger room that also has Triclopses in it, but regardless, this is a Triclops. It has 3 mandibles and likes to collect things, deposit them elsewhere for later consumption. It's a hoarder. Basically, it doesn't really do anything if you're, not in morph ball mode, but you rarely encounter them when you're not in morph ball mode, and wow, that was really lucky. I always was kind of annoyed by these guys, because, there we go. There we see what they do to you if you're stupid or unlucky. Basically, they just scoop you up and carry you back to, the start of the little morph ball segment, and not only can you not escape, I can't see him because of the fire spurting. Not only can you not escape, for some bizarre reason you can't lay bombs while you're being grabbed by him, but you can defeat them, as we saw, by laying bombs in front of them and trying not to get grabbed yourself, which I'm suddenly horrible at after that, after being really lucky with that first time. Now, I do not know what language that was. Maybe I'll try this one instead. There's another one here, but... sweet. Kill him. I don't think there's a single... like beam or missile or anything that can destroy these guys. It's only morph ball weapons. Which is kind of funny. But anyway. This room is large and impressive. This is the Triclops pit. What was the other room called? Pit tunnel. Okay. That sounds kind of weird. But I'm terrible at coming up with names myself, so I'm not going to judge. So there's a whole bunch of stuff out here, and there's a missile expansion, and there's a way to some other power-ups in here. Actually, I see a door back there that I don't think we can open. It's a regular beam door. I don't think we can really do anything with this room other than go that way, but I'm gonna check. No, it's blocked pretty sturdily. So, I got caught by the puffer explosion. So I think we have to get through here using these morph ball areas under the floor here, but we can't get into them yet. There's something we have to blow up that we can't blow up yet. And did that puffer respawn? Puffer. I don't understand the respawn logic in this game. Usually things only respawn when you leave the room. Usually I think you have to go a couple of rooms away and come back for enemies to reappear in a room. Which is, I guess, nice, because if you defeat all the enemies in a room and then go into a save station and then come back, they won't be there, but sometimes they respawn faster than you'd like. It can be kind of irritating in later areas. The same auto-defense turrets that we saw on the ship, but for some reason they're tougher, because the ones we saw on the ship only took 1 missile to die each. And these are a little more resilient, and I think the shots are a bit more powerful too. We can still take them out with 2 missiles or 2 charge beams, or 1 of each. I think later on these might get replaced with tougher ones or something, because I remember in my practice run having a lot of trouble with these things. Now there's a couple paths we can take here. If we progress up the side here, we can go out sort of the standard way, which is going to take us to an elevator into the next area. Because in a lot of senses, Magmor Caverns is essentially just a connector area. You don't really do that much in here. But there are some power-ups and whatnot that we will get in here later. But, it is a fairly linear area, just sort of goes in one direction. But we're gonna try going through here, because there's a couple of interesting things to see. Stress fractures in Bendesium frame. This is something that, as you might have guessed, we'll be able to destroy with a later power-up, but we can't yet. And there is a handy upgrade under there, but can't get to it just yet. Fiery Shores. I think this is an area where we can get a missile expansion, if I'm not mistaken. It's also an area, also an area where we have to dodge fire, and it's not going too well. Okay, I guess we can't jump up on the other side of it. Come on! Yes! Got hit by the fire, but I still made it. There's a Triclops who's not really going to be a threat to us unless we go into Morph Ball mode, but might have noticed he's right next to a Morph Ball tunnel. And here's Magma. That's actually one of the most gruesome enemy kills you can get in this game. Yep, there's a missile tank up there. I thought so. That you actually blow off the Magmore's head. It's kind of horrible. But anyway, destroy that Triclops, go in through here. The Triclops, if you get picked up at him, he's just gonna spit you out into the lava. So not a whole lot of progress lost, but you still take damage. So that just took us around to the other side of that area that it looked like we could only grapple beam across. But something of interest here. Morph Ball bomb up here. And then there's a little bit of tricky Morph Ball. I guess you wouldn't really call this platforming. You're just rolling. I don't know. Sort of a labyrinth, marble maze type thing. I don't know. Something where you have to roll the Morph Ball carefully, and you get a missile expansion, and kill a Triclops again. And, wait. Where? What? Oh, I see. We're over here. So we'll just have to go through this again to get to the other side. Yeah, I know I'm going off. And doing optional stuff here. No. I was looking away to check the time on the recording and got sidetracked. I'm just terrible with this Morph Ball today. Although I did manage to get that missile tank in one go. But, looking at the time of the recording, I think that it's kind of a random time, but I think I'm going to call this an episode. So, I'm the Dog, and until next time, I have nothing to say here.